I boo-hooed. I said, oh, the club put me in there. No. I put myself in there. I did what I had to do as a Hell's Angel.
You know, my daddy always, if you got in a fight and you came home with a bloody nose, did you hit him back? If you didn't hit him back, Dad put you in the car and took you back over there and told you going up in that yard and get your shit done and be a man.
These other walls drove through by gangs, by the FBI gang, and all that shit happened to that chapter, right? Like those guys go through their being a big motorcycle club, even sometimes just being a small motorcycle club, you go through your.
A lot of people that have come in have seen definitely a change in the club and the direction that the club is going.
I looked out my window and you could see a body laying out in front. And here's this dude running around up there with no, just had his sweatshirt on. And he tells me he's a Hell's Angel. Even after all that, I still wanted to join the Hell's Angels.
People out there, man, that are just natural followers. And they just fall right in line with that type of program. But not 1%ers, man. 1%ers don't ask permission.
Welcome to this episode of Chattin With Staxx. I'm your host, Bill Staxx, and today we got a good show for you today. Today we're talking about the feds watching Satan's Choice Motorcycle Club, and they're blatantly watching them. Before we get started, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can get my videos every time they drop. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Tell your mother's brother, sister, friend about Chattin With Staxx, the dopest motorcycle content on YouTube. I appreciate all you guys taking the time to watch this show. If you want to donate to the show, you can hit up the Cash App at Chattin With Staxx. I appreciate every single dollar. Goes right back into the show so I can bring you the dopest content possible. Or you could donate to Venmo, PayPal, Super Sticker, Super Chat, Zelle, all that good stuff. And if you want to tell your story on Chattin With Staxx, just email me at billstaxx2021@gmail.com. We got a lot of great interviews lined up for you guys. I've been getting them done. So I'm going to be pumping out a whole bunch of content. There's a lot going on out there. Let me give a couple shout outs before we get started. Keegan, what's up, man? Thank you for joining me. Appreciate you. Dodge 2021. Texas tapping in. Shout out to Texas. Jason, what's good? Thank you for joining me, man. Daz, how you doing? I live in Oshawa. Police have something else to do? Yeah, it's pretty wild. It's like the paparazzi for them, basically, right? Johnny, what's going on? Thank you for joining me. Johnny Rags. Lindsay, how are you? Thank you for joining me today. I appreciate everything you do for this channel. What else we got in the building? Craig, how are you, Craig? Lisa is in the house. Pepper, good morning from White Rock, BC. Social Rejects is in the house. Duka. Howdy. Ken, what's good? Jaman, how are you? Gory Rory's in the house. Repo Rod is in the building. SCMC, what did HG think? The rest toss the Temu badges and invade the area and have no place. It would happen. HG will make his stateside appear as all the U.S. based chapters. We'll see what happens. What's going on, Repo? How are you? So we got a special guest that's going to be joining us in a little bit. And you guys might have seen this guy around on Facebook, and he's got some big information to drop. So first, we're going to talk about the situation over there in Maine. You guys remember the woman that was killed in Maine? So there's some plea agreements that are being done over there. I believe this morning. Let's see here. Plea hearing set for 2 men in the fatal Portland biker gang clash, where Susan Mahu of Gray was shot and killed. 3 others were injured. This is out of Portland, Maine. 2 are scheduled to appear in court Monday morning for plea hearings in connection with the deadly 2024 fight involving rival biker gangs in Portland. Caleb Pelkey and Christopher Haken each are charged with elevated aggravated assault in their alleged roles in the violence, which broke out at Morrell Corner on Forest Avenue. During the incident, Susan Mahou of Gray was shot and killed, and 3 other people were injured. The defendant, Aaron Karp, he was a member of the Outlaws Motorcycle Club. He's previously pleaded guilty to manslaughter and was sentenced to 15 years. Several other men are also facing charges in connection with the confrontation. Plea hearing for Pelkey and Hankin were scheduled to begin at 8:30 a.m. in Cumberland County, so I'll bring you guys more information when that becomes available. This is a wild story. I told you guys about this before, but it turns out that charges have been upgraded against the mom who was charged. She's a mom is charged with manslaughter after teen's illegal e-motorcycle crash turns fatal. So she's charged with manslaughter. An Orange County mother previously charged with felony endangerment and accessory after a teenage son struck an elderly pedestrian while riding his illegal e-motorcycle, was now facing more serious charges after the victim died. Prosecutors announced that the 50-year-old Tommy Joe Major is charged with felony involuntary manslaughter following the death of 81-year-old Ed Ashman, a Vietnam veteran and substitute teacher. Ashman died about a week ago after the crash while walking home at El Toro High School in Lake Forest. According to the Orange County District Attorney's Office, authorities alleged a 14-year-old who was doing wheelies on a high-powered e-motorcycle struck Ashman near Toledo Way and Ridge Route Drive on April 16th before fleeing the scene. In an amended complaint filed May 1st, Mayer is now charged with involuntary manslaughter along with felony endangerment, accessory after the fact, plus several misdemeanor counts. If convicted on all charges, he faces up to 7 years and 8 months in state prison, prosecutors said. What do you guys think of this? They are charging the mother of a kid who was doing wheelies and riding reckless because he I guess he was too young to face charges. I don't know why they would charge the mother. Hey, Christopher, what's up? Unknown but known. Ghost Eagle Guardians in the building. Comments make you angry. How are you? HG, take a minute from your Hollywood giveaway. Show you're a leader and not a seller. Come stateside and show up. He can't come to the U.S., so that's not ever going to happen. Al Roseberry, what's going on? Thank you for joining me today. Yeah, he's not allowed in the U.S., man. He ain't coming to the U.S. So I got a video of the police actively watching Satan's Choice. I mean, they are on him, taking pictures of every single person with a patch. Every single person. This guy was standing there, click, 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 taking pictures of every single person that rode by with a patch. And at the end of this show, I got some mind-blowing news about Satan's Choice. You're not going to want to miss it. Anyway, let's take a look at some of these videos. Shout out to Rusty Dusty. Go follow him. Some of these videos are from him and some different social medias. Shout out to SCMC. Let's check out this video. Rusty Dusty. See the police there taking pictures. They both have cameras, the one in the front and in the back. So I mean, they're actively cataloging every person with a patch, right? And they do that so they can know who they're dealing with. Eric, how you doing? What link is that, man? What link you putting in there? Yeah, we ain't doing that. We ain't doing that link thing, bro. Not over here, bro. No bueno. Taco, what's going on? Thank you for joining me. Unless you got a wrench, can't put links in here, man. Hate to break it to you. Let me see. Hold on 1 second. Oh, Bernie's book. Oh, just go check out Bernie's book on Amazon. Why do people call me right at this time? Like, this is the time. I go live every day at the same time, right? Every day. It's the same shit. Every day. Every single fucking day. I don't get it. So they do this with every 1% motorcycle club, right? And this is probably what they call it. What do they call it up there? It's not the feds, right? It's the biker enforcement unit or something. Isn't that what they call it? Yeah, the BEU, right? I love your chat. Hey, Darren, what's up, man? How are you? STMC Prez, what's going on, man? Thank you for joining me today. All right, we got a long video for you guys. Let's check it out. We got a couple minutes, and then this dude's going to be joining us, so let's take a look.
How's it going? Welcome, committee. Nice.
The welcoming committee. Listen, they're going to categorize any club with a 1% diamond, they're going to categorize them a gang, right? I mean, he said that they're not categorized a gang yet, but they're definitely looking like it's going to be going that way. I mean, they made such a big deal out of that one guy getting arrested, and he wasn't even actively wearing his cut or involved with the club like at that time. And they made such a big deal out of it. Trust me, they're not going to just let that go. They're not going to they're going to try to use everything against them. But this must be like the first ride of the year, you know? But they were deep. Shout out to Rusty Dusty. Go follow Rusty Dusty. Look at the cops with the camera. Yeah, they catalog each member who's associated with the diamond. See, they ain't fucking around. Rusty!
Shaggy!
I'm gonna put Rusty's link in the chat. Follow him.
patrol and they're about to block.
Yeah. Oh, how you doing, man? Oh, we got the vantage point right here. Alright!
Cops everywhere. Everywhere you look, there's cops taking pictures, cataloging bikes.
Let's go! Come on up here, buddy.
Can we get the finger to the coppers or what?
Hey, Virginia Chaos in the building.
Hey, holler. Crazy. Craziness.
Of course, they're not going to let these guys mobilize, right? And do nothing about it.
Yeah.
They're not going to just sit back.
What a turnout, eh? Crazy, man.
Cops everywhere, cataloging bikes, right? Running plates. All right, we got a special guest in the house. I'm gonna pause this real quick. There's been a lot of talk online, right? And we got him on the show. So let's bring him on and see what he's got to say. What's up, man?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing good. There's a little bit of a lag.
Oh, okay.
It's all good. There's nothing you can do about that.
Yeah, I've been watching what's going on in Canada. That's pretty crazy. It looks like law enforcement are fans out there taking pictures and
Yeah.
wow, that's that wouldn't happen here in the United States. Not like that. Unfortunately, it looks like Canada law enforcement has an issue with motorcycle clubs in general, and I could tell you it probably started from a while back when there were problems. So it's probably carrying on to Satan's choice now.
So they definitely watch a lot of these clubs that are in the U.S. They just don't make it so recognizable. I got videos of the cops watching different clubs, but they're blatantly standing on the sidewalk with them, right? It's weird.
Correct. It is weird. Like in California, you usually see like a police escort, or they'll be on the. They're not taking You don't see them physically taking pictures. They probably are, but they're keeping it more on the down low. I notice in Canada, they're right there going like this, taking pictures like they're fans, and it's just crazy. I've never seen that before in the United States like that.
So there's a lot of things going around, right? You were starting your own club.
Correct.
Called the Rednecks. You were a part of a club, right?
That's correct.
You want to tell me about the club that you were in? It's your 1% club, right?
Yeah. Yes.
They originated outside the United States, though. The Rebels. They're in Australia.
That's correct. And they came to the United States. They have a few chapters, actually, numerous states. And I decided to get on board. And after a while, just due to the lack of communication, it just wasn't for me. So I decided to start my own thing. But I do have an update. I'm sure I'm going to make new fans. I'm going to switch to Satan's Choice. I believe.
I just interviewed you.
Yeah.
Are you?
Yes, there's reasons why. And I just want to tell everybody out there, this is not a pay to play. It's not. Okay. I don't know why people are saying this. Satan's Choice is legit. Okay. Every club, like with Rebels, I had to pay. Had to pay for the patches, had to pay for numerous other things I'm not going to mention. But that's the way it works. Okay. They don't send you the Satan's Choice, you don't send them money and they send you patches. It doesn't work like that. I'm not going to tell everyone the protocol, but it doesn't work. The pay to play thing, that's BS. That's not the way it works. Okay. There's a protocol you got to follow. There's somebody you got to meet with. You got to do a bunch of other things. Yes, Satan's Choice is legit.
A lot of people think you just send money and they send you patches and you're in the club, right?
That's correct. And for people saying that they have chomos or law enforcement in their MC, I'm not going to mention any names, but there's 1% clubs that actually have active law enforcement or ex-law enforcement. I've got no reason to lie about this. I'm not going to say the names and throw them out there, but yeah, this needs to stop. This drama with Satan's Choice, that people have a problem with Satan's Choice, needs to stop. Okay, they're here. They're big in Canada, and they're here in the United States, and I wish them all the luck. And like I said, I'm going to switch to Satan's Choice, and I found this out approximately 2 days ago.
So you were going to start your own club, right? But then it changed.
Yes, it did change, and there's reasons why. I became fond of Satan's Choice. A lot of people don't know this, but I talked to numerous members, high up members of Satan's Choice. I'd call them the upper brass. And after talks with them, like I said, I'm making the right choice by going to Satan's Choice.
You don't think there'll be a problem with other clubs being some of the people are out bad from other 1% clubs, maybe in the area?
Well, the problem, what I see is this. Look, they're grown men, okay? Nowadays, being out bad, they could be out bad because somebody's jealous, somebody lied, numerous things. Out bad nowadays doesn't mean anything unless they're a chomo or actually other factors. But being out bad these days, it's a little different now than yesteryear.
Now, what if they tell you to wear a support patch for one of the big clubs that are out in your area? What happens then?
Well, Satan's Choice, they don't follow anybody. They're not going to do that. They stand alone. Okay. It is what it is. Am I going to have problems? Absolutely. Okay. But you know what? It's something that comes with the territory. It's going to be like this forever. Okay.
So someone asked a question. They said, is Rat still in the Rebels?
Yes, he is.
Isn't there only one member out there or something?
Okay. No, not where Rat's at. But we spoke about this last week. So as you know, I was the president of the Rebels, Missouri, United States. Well, let me correct the United States, but I live in Missouri. So I notified my brothers and say, hey, look, we're going to get out of this thing. It's not working out. Lack of communication with the Nationals. As I was doing, I was trying to make things grow. Didn't get any help. And there's only one guy in St. Louis, Missouri that's sporting a Rebels patch. I advised him to get rid of it, that it's not going to work out for him. I received something from another 1% club that I'm cool with, and we're not allies, we're not enemies, but yeah, they found out about that too, not from me, but from other people. So if he's out there and if he's listening, Don't be caught with that on your back. You're by yourself. I didn't sanction anything. You're on your own.
Yeah, but what do you say for the people that say don't get caught with the Satan's Choice patch on your back?
Well, I tell them all to ride. When we do this, ride in a group. As of right now, if you're going to go somewhere, make sure you're in a group. If not, make sure you're armed, because you know what? If somebody tries to take that off your back, okay, you have every right. In Missouri, it's castle law. Okay, you have the right to defend yourself. I would advise them to do what they got to do. It's self-defense. If somebody comes up to me and tries to grab me and do this, ultimately they're going to be shot. It's self-defense. They're trying to rob me of what I got.
So what do you think about the cops taking pictures the way they do? And do you think it's going to be like that in the States?
Eventually, I think it's going to be like that in the United States, because a lot of these 1% clubs in general are fighting one another. Okay, they're, you know, it's going to be one big domino effect. It's going to affect everybody. I don't think it's going to be like that, like it is in Canada, but something's going to happen. Okay, I think in Florida now they're already harassing 1% biker clubs. That's my understanding. So. Yeah, it's probably going to happen. And people
there's new laws that are passing, Florida, Texas.
Correct. You know, and I hate when people say, well, while Trump's in office, that's not going to happen. Well, I think that's BS, because nobody wants violence. You know, Trump doesn't want violence, but it needs to stop, because it's hurting everybody. Okay, it's not going to work out. I'm just stating the facts. And like I said, if you're going to fight another club, use your fist. Okay. If you lose, you come back another day. I understand a lot of these guys are getting revenge because one of their brothers were shot. I get that. Okay. But eventually you're going to have to come to the table, like every other club that lost people, try to work things out. You know, but common sense nowadays is a lost art. It just doesn't work out like that.
Johnny, what's going on? Yeah, down in Texas, there's a lot of stuff going on down there, and there's a microscope on all these clubs down there because of what just happened. So it's really going to put a damper on things for people to just do what they want.
That's correct. You know, in Missouri, we don't really have any problems. A lot of the other clubs, Missouri, we don't have that. You know, they might look and, you know, they'll say, hey, there's Rebels chapter here, and you know what I mean, but they're not going to really mess with you until you start doing stuff like homicides, getting caught drug dealing, anything criminal. But yeah, Missouri's pretty lax so far. I can't speak about Kansas City, Missouri, or anything, but the area I'm in, like I said, there's some clubs being watched in the St. Louis metropolitan area. I can tell you that. I know that for a fact. And no, I'm not a cop. I used to be a process server. But yeah, you know, I know everyone from good and bad. You know, I don't hate on anybody. So
Mafioso says it's completely normal behavior from the Ontario Biker Enforcement Unit. They will sit in their cars 40 feet from the clubhouse door while they barbecue. And they're always at every ride, every funeral with cameras.
That's amazing. Well, the barbecue, I'd probably try to offer them some barbecue. They probably wouldn't take it, but I'm a character like that. That's pretty sad, though. That right there is that's not good. I wouldn't want to be in that position, but you know what? Just stay strong and do what you do. Just if you're going to do something, make sure nobody knows.
Joker says you have cops in all 1% clubs, but God forbid 1% clubs help one another instead of hindering each other.
Correct. There's some, I ain't going to say any names, but there's some ex-cops that are in 1% clubs, and actually they're some of the best. This is what I'm hearing from other people. They're really good at what they do. They really help the club out quite a bit. So like I said, I mean, 1% clubs are against law enforcement, but a lot of them have law enforcement in them. Ex law enforcement.
Some of them don't know that. Some of them don't know that they're in the club.
Well, some
right?
do not. Some do not know, but like I said, the guys that are in there that they know about, they've done something to earn their respect. Okay, I'm just being honest. I've been around for many, many years, but yeah, there's some.
Man, Max says Canada is the perfect example of loss of Western freedom.
100%. I'm pretty sure Australia is probably following suit. It's really hard. Like I said, they're going to be on them 100%. And it's I don't think it's going to go away. All I would advise Satan's Choice and every 1% club out there, any club in general, is just stay the course and do what you do. Just be careful. And if somebody screws up, I would definitely take it out of their hide. It takes one person in the MC to screw it up for everybody. So I'm telling you now, if that one person screws up the whole club, I believe that there should be some consequences.
So, what's that say? Earl Harrison says they filmed Our House when Harley was 2. Been going on ever since. I would sit with Mike pointed at the house across the street for hours.
Wow.
And they have stuff that they could point in your direction and hear what you're saying, right?
Correct. They have helicopters too. Let's say if you have a lot of illegal drugs. People don't really deal in marijuana these days, but they have a way, and this is true, that the helicopter could point something and they could actually see how much money you have in the house. They have strips. I don't know about Canada, but in the United States, they have little strips on the money. You know that, right? So they could
use helicopters to find out how much money you have in the house?
If they have like a huge bundle of money.
What if it's wrapped in tinfoil, man?
I wouldn't know that, but they have a lot of high tech things now. There's a lot of stuff I learned through the years, especially there's all kinds of things they could do now, which is it's crazy. It's actually even hard to commit a crime out, like even here. People don't know this in the state of Missouri. I can't speak on behalf of everybody else, but a lot of these signals and stuff, stop signs and stuff like that, they have a little thing that will read the plate, and they have a database. They have a place like where they could actually, it pops up the plate and then your pedigree information and everything. It's automatic.
So Wildcard says Satan's Choice definitely losing membership.
I don't see that. Like I said, I know they're new in the United States. They're nothing like Canada. Canada, Satan's Choice is doing great. United States, like I said, I don't know yet. It remains to be seen. They do have chapters.
They did lose some members with big. They lost some members with big Kaz and all that, but they still are steady working, I guess. I don't know either, so I can't really say,
So when they lose Kaz, like I said, when Satan's Choice loses people, they gain 10 more. It's going to grow.
I know.
But they need to find the right people that's going to to be 1%, you got to give 100%. Okay. And that's how it works.
Yeah. And people have to prospect for this club too, right? Prevail says, of course, Choice is vetting. They also have strikers. Don't believe the hype. You're seeing full patches everywhere because they are from other clubs and have been patched over or walked away. Because if they were a former 1%, they still got to go through a process to get the patch. They don't just hand money and get a patch handed over, but they do have prospects too, right?
Absolutely. Okay. And again, when Satan's Choice first started out, and Harley, there was people that were actually posing as Satan's Choice. And unfortunately, people were dumb enough to give them money, and that was on them. That wasn't Satan's Choice. That was some idiot acting like Satan's Choice to say, "Hey, man, give me $1,500, this and this and this and this and this. We'll take care of you, and we'll mail the patch to you." Okay, them guys were just impersonators. They weren't real Satan's Choice.
Yeah, Australia is really bad. It's crazy. People can't even have a conversation together wearing patches, or they'll all be arrested.
Correct, because they could hear the conversation. I don't care if you go like this. They law enforcement around the United States and Canada, like I said, it's hard to do anything. If you're going to do bad, I would definitely rethink that, especially in Canada. United States, same thing. They're not as hardcore as Canada yet, but like I said, if there's certain things you really can't do anymore, and I would definitely suggest not to do it. That's just my opinion, and I hope everyone listens.
Prevail said people are fed up with the 81 in Canada, and they are the farthest thing from actual bikers. Let's be real. LOL.
Well,
I know a couple up there in Canada, and they seem like good people.
Well, yeah, I can't speak on behalf of Canada 81, but I know here in the United States, I have a bunch of them around here. They're legit, and they stand on business. And I keep them I talk to them from a distance. How you doing? Whatever. But like I said, I have nothing against 81. I've been to a few of their open houses before. Nice guys. I can't say nothing bad about them. But like I said, I'm not sure if they like me, and I don't care. I wasn't brought here to be liked by everybody. I have haters, of course. I just had somebody put some hate on my Facebook account. Like I said, people are like that. Some people are just not going to like you. People are not going to like me because I'm switching over to Satan's Choice. Like I said, it's my choice. So.
Yeah, I mean, people can do whatever they want, but do you think it comes with consequences?
Absolutely, especially in Missouri. I'm not going to mention the club. I do have respect for them, but they don't really want to play fair with anybody. And, the guy that's in charge of the coalition of clubs here in Missouri is a 1%er too. So, I decided to go that route and say, hey, this is what's up. This is, and they're not responding to me for the COC because you know why? He's with the 1% club in Missouri. So I'm definitely if you're going to be the head of the Missouri coalition of clubs, I don't believe you should be in a 1% club. That's just my opinion. Like I said, because go ahead.
Satan's Choice isn't going to be in the COC, I thought.
No, they're not. But when I tried to start my own thing, they never returned their call because you know why? All these 1% clubs, I'm not saying anything bad about one, but they're all connected. Okay. It's funny. They don't want Satan's Choice. They don't want all these other clubs, but guess what? We have every club in Missouri from the West Coast and East Coast. Everyone you can think of. We have the Vagos. We have I was on the highway yesterday. Eastbound 70. There was 5 or 6 banditos. Yeah. We have every club, Vagos, everybody. So you know what? If they could do it, I'm going to do it. They don't have to worry about Satan's Choice. At least not the one I'm doing in Missouri. Like I said, I'm not out here to take over territory. I'm not here to sell drugs, any of that BS. It's not going to happen on my watch.
Let's take a look at this video.
See what happens later. Yeah. Let's go, guys. Share the lives. Tag someone. Yeah.
Wildcard says Satan's Choice should not be a 1% club.
Well, opinions vary.
Yeah, they do. And it is a different technique to the way that they get members, meaning people that are no longer in clubs and they have to had prospected through an actual club, like somebody. So let me ask you this: if somebody prospected and failed a bunch of times, they can't get a diamond if they pay the money and go through the process, right?
Absolutely not. I wouldn't even entertain them.
I know a lot of people who have went through the process of prospecting and failed. So, I mean, I guess they wouldn't be getting a patch.
Well,
I know, right?
yeah, it depends on the circumstances. Like I said, I prospected for a big 1% club, and I'm sorry, correction, I was a hang around. Wow, for a 1% club, and I was thinking about prospecting, and I backed out because of certain factors. I just believed I wasn't a good fit for it because of certain things I did not like.
But who actually asks for permission? Yeah, who actually asks for permission? Does anybody really ask for permission?
Yes and no. 1% clubs notoriously they don't ask permission. They just do what they want. There's a huge black and white club. When I say black and white, you know what I'm talking about. It's got nothing to do with race. They just came in and talked to him, say, "Hey, this is the way it is, and this and this and that. If you don't like it, well, oh well." And they're a huge club. They
That's what
started
a
up.
lot of them do. That's what
Yeah.
that's what a lot of them do.
Yeah. These clubs claim they're traditional, and a lot of these clubs are not traditional. They claim they're traditional. Like I said, I've tried to go through the proper channels, and you know what? Nobody got back with me, and so it's like screw them. You're supposed to get with them, talk to them, and set up a time for a meeting. Of course, none of them want to have a meeting with me. I don't know what the deal is, or what. So.
What were you supposed to do? Sit around and wait until they feel it's necessary to have a conversation with you?
Absolutely not. I'm pretty tired of the BS. Like I said, the club I was talking to, I have a lot of respect for them. They don't want to entertain a meeting, and I do have other clubs. Like I said, I have followers, not like you, but a lot of them are with the big four. A lot of them, they're just snooping. And I put on there, hey, if you want to talk, you could private message me. Nobody wants to do that. What it is, eventually something's going to happen. I know that. Who knows how long I'm going to be on planet Earth, but if you're going to kill me for something like this, then it's pretty stupid. Like I said, I'm not out to start any trouble, commit any crimes, anything like that, so my suggestion to them, instead of worrying about me, worry about the other clubs that are really dominant in your area, especially in Missouri. Like I said, we have every club known to man here.
There's a lot of clubs here on the East Coast too. Wildcard says there's a lot of shit going down for SC in Ontario. Yeah, I really don't know anything about what's going on over there.
Yeah, it's a shame, man. The funny thing about Missouri and the Bloods and Crips are actually, they get along now. So if these street gangs could coexist and get along together, why can't 1% clubs get along? Like I said, I can understand if they're stepping on your territory.
Some of the big clubs, right?
Yeah.
Some of the big clubs are getting along now. Some of the clubs that you would never think would get along are getting along.
Well, look at Sons of Silence and Hell's Angels. They're now allies. I would never dreamed that would happen.
It's crazy.
Actually, Hell's Angels
aren't the Mongols are talking with the Hells Angels now too? Or are they not saying that they're cool with each other, but they're coexisting? I haven't
That
heard any crazy stuff happen in a while.
correct. Even the Outlaws and Hell's Angels, they're kind of like a what you'd call a ceasefire. They're actually, they're doing all right together. Again, this, like I said, this killing needs to stop. We're grown men, okay? Stop the killing. Just, as long as they're not trying to step in your territory and take over. So I'm not going to say certain things, but everyone in the 1% lifestyle knows what I'm talking about, even you. As long as they're not trying to take over clients, anything remotely like that, trying to steal your money, whatever, don't worry about them.
Have an understanding and stay in their own lane. Things been really quiet on them fronts recently. There hasn't been any craziness.
Correct. Not to bring up race, but you know what? A lot of the African American clubs that are in Missouri and St. Louis, you know what? They really don't have a problem. As long as you show respect, they give you respect. I'm not saying the names of these clubs, but I was just in when I was with Rebels, we went to a place called the Loading Dock, Grafton, Illinois. There was two 1% motorcycle clubs there, African American. They showed me respect. I showed them respect. I guarantee you, it was the people of the color of my skin, there'd be an issue. It seems like a lot of the white MCs, they seem like they want to ruffle things up. I don't know what it is, and I'm a white guy. I just look. I don't understand it. If the brothers could coexist, the black guys, we could coexist. Yeah.
Even the Banditos and the Hells Angels are standing side by side. I've seen multiple pictures of them hanging out together. So that would have never happened in the past. At certain points, I mean, there has been times when they've been cordial, but I mean, you're starting to see a lot more pictures of them together.
Yeah, and that's true, and that's great. That being said, though, like I said, Satan's choice is new, especially in the United States. It's going to be hard. Okay, not everyone's going to like us. There's going to be problems. Okay, hopefully there's no death comes out of this. Like I said, everyone has family and stuff. Like I said, a lot of these clubs are not out to do certain things like they used to. And like I said, this is 2026 and things are changing. Things are not as traditional as they used to be.
Christopher says, is this legal? Can they do this? Talk about harassment? What do you mean? Talk about the cops harassing people? Yeah, you can talk about the cops harassing people. Why not?
Yeah, there's no law against that. Like I said, in reference to law enforcement, I said, just leave them alone. Don't draw attention. Just do your thing. Let them take pictures. Let them do that. The thing is, you got to vet these potential club members. You got to make sure they're not in law enforcement. That there's protocols you need to follow. And there's ways to do it. I'm not going to say how to do it, but there's a good way to actually prove they're not in law enforcement. It's a pretty good approach.
Yeah, but do you think people, maybe not just that, but other people with some funny charges, you don't think some people slip through the cracks?
It depends. I got, actually, when I was younger, I went to jail for numerous assaults, and about 2011, I got them expunged. So yeah, them would be hard to find. But like I said, they were just assaults, third-degree assaults. But yeah, some will slip through the cracks. But like I said, law enforcement, like me, I'll go to somebody's house. I want to meet the family. I want to see there's things I want to see. You go to their house, okay? You look at things. If you have any smarts or common sense, you'll be able to find out a lot of things. You have pictures of yourself, this and this and that. You just, like I said, if they want to be in the club that bad, they're going to let you do what you want.
So, damn, we should probably redo your interview then, huh?
It's up to you. But like I said, if you want to find out if somebody's really in law enforcement, go to the source, go to their house, meet their mom and dad, grandmas, whatever. Like I said, that's something that I would advise everyone to do, especially 1% clubs.
Well, we'll see what happens with the future, man, and we'll see what's going on. But some of these big clubs are starting to take notice, and they're responding. And we're going to talk about that tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. I really appreciate you taking the time and coming on the show.
No problem.
Thanks, man. And I'll hit you up later.
All right. Thank you.
All right, later, man.
See you.
Well, thank you all for joining me today. I really appreciate it. We got a lot to talk about tomorrow. Don't miss the show. It's going to be mind-blowing. I'm telling you. Don't want to miss it. And if you like this show, hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you could get my videos every time they drop. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Tell your mother's brother, sister's friend about Chattin With Staxx, the dopest motorcycle content on YouTube. And I honestly did not expect that. I didn't know he was going to Satan's Choice. Insane information. I had no clue. And if you want to donate to the show, hit up the Cash App at Chattin With Staxx. Or you can hit up Venmo, PayPal, Super Sticker, Super Chat, Zelle, all that good stuff. I'll put every dollar goes right back into the show so I can bring you the dopest content possible. If you want to tell your story on Chattin With Staxx, just email me at billstaxx2021@gmail.com. I appreciate all you guys. And remember, don't be a bitch.
And all new at 5, a major organized crime bust. 23 people under arrest now accused of stealing guns and cash.
Today, police revealed 4 organized crime groups are wreaking havoc.
From aggravated robbery to kidnapping, burglary, and more. Let's take a look at this. New pictures from court documents in this case. These are a few of the people who have been charged. And investigators say the money, tens of thousands of dollars, is all stolen.